Okay, I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see this. Boy, it would be so nice to have somebody hold the camera and do all that. Anyways, I'm planting red potatoes today. I've already put in the Yukon Golds. I've put in a few other types, but wanted to have some red ones. So we're going to do it here in the back to Eden method gardening. Normally I leave my potatoes in during the fall. I'll harvest and I put my biggest potato back in. I didn't do that last year, and part of that was because I wanted to have the different types together. So anyways, on potatoes, I usually try to plant them somewhere around a foot apart. I know they recommend about 4 inches deep. I don't quite go that way, but anyway, so what I do, hopefully you're going to be able to see this. This is a stake that I'm going to use. This is the start of the red ones. So what I'm going to do is separate the wood chips from the soil. You can see it's pretty moist down there. Hopefully you can see it. Then I dig down. Hopefully you're seeing how easy the soil is to pull up. It's cool, it's moist, it's soft. Alright, so there I've got that. Now I am going to throw a handful of compost in it. As you guys have seen, I use a lot of compost. I've got so much of it this year. I'm going to take advantage of it. Now, I know a lot of people would split these. You can see there's just barely starting the eyes. I'm going to keep my eyes aiming up. That's important. I'm going to stick it down. I'm going to cover the soil back up, pat it down a little bit, cover it with the wood chips. And I'm going to come over here. Now maybe this one you'll be able to see. Pull my wood chips away from the hole that I want to dig. Dig down. I'm seeing a ton of worms in here. Worms, worms, worms. I should be fishing today. Alright, so I dug a hole. Throw a handful of compost in. And most of the eyes are up on this part. So I'm going to stick that down. Cover it back up with soil. See the worms. Get the wood chips back in. Now I got to go over on the other side. Okay, so about a foot apart. What it's allowing me to do is about four seed potatoes to a row. Those are chips, and then dig down in. Hopefully you can see how black the soil is. It's unreal dark. A lot of I've had this bed for probably close to 20 years. Dug my hole, throw some compost in, take the seed potato, there, just like that easy. I don't use any fertilizer other than I'll probably throw some rabbit manure on top. Normally what I'll do in the fall, because usually I've got a ton of compost, I'll throw probably a 2-inch layer of compost on this whole garden. And I mean, you guys see how deep I'm going? I mean, there's no problem with digging. But I'll throw Oh, probably a 2-inch layer of compost on this, and then I'll put wood chips right back on top of it. You know, I'm usually going down below where the wood chips would be, even if I do like what I just said, you know, the compost and the wood chips. Where I'm putting my seed potato is down below where those wood chips are, you know, because that's the whole thing. If you bury those wood chips there, that is going to start pulling the nitrogen out of the soil because it's decomposing the wood chips. So how am I go along? About a foot. Separate the wood chips from the top. Now you can see there's quite a few wood chips in here. This would have been where I had recovered last year. Put the compost on top, and this here just didn't get rotted down, but that's all right. It's gonna do fine. I don't know if you can see the worms that are pulling up. There's one there, one there, one here, one here. It's loaded with worms. Awesome, awesome soil. Full compost. Now my compost from last year wouldn't have been any of the rabbit manure in it, but it would have had the winter before's chicken manure, leaves. I probably in my compost piles I probably went through 2 pickup loads of leaves, ones that I had gathered up. Kitchen scraps. Look at the worms. My goodness. You know, if you're seeing worms and night crawlers like this, you know your soil is good. Oh, that's another thing. In years past, I've put quite a bit of worm castings on. And this bed here, which is 4 foot by not quite 30 feet, there's probably at least 3 or 4 pailfuls of worm castings. I've done that for a couple of years. Alright, so I'm going to switch back over to the other side. Amazing. Last week we had all we could do to get to 40 degrees. And here it is, quarter after 11. I had to go down to the store to pick up this bag of potatoes. It was 80 degrees. 9:30, 80 degrees. Central Maine. Crazy. Crazy. You know, somebody might say, how are you saving time with this back to Eden garden? You got to pull the chips back, do all that. You know, you got to remember, I didn't rototill this. I haven't rototilled this area for probably 6 years. So that's to save time and saving. No, very, very, very few weeds. I can see a little tree trying to start. So it was a good day planting today. Got a lot of potatoes done. I came in the house and I was telling my wife it was probably close to oh, I don't know, 125, 150 potato seeds that went in the ground today, so that was good. Got beets, planted quite a bunch of beets. Usually the beets, a lot of that's going to be beet greens, when I'm thinning them out, and then I'll leave a bunch. My wife loves pickled beets, so we're getting kind of down on that, so we'll harvest some of them for pickled beets. What else did I get done? Pole beans, that fence next to the onions, for those that might have watched that video, that was planted with the pole beans. Need to get some of those canned. I'm just about out of those, so be good to get some of those in. What we've been using was very, very old beans, but they still tasted good. There wasn't any problems with them. So anyways, I hope, watching this Back to Eden garden method that I've been doing, hopefully inspired you to try it. Even if you take a small amount of your garden and call one of your local tree services up, have them drop you off a load, give it a shot. I've been doing this, it's either 5 or 6 years now. I really enjoy it, and hopefully I can take you along as week by week we can see how the stuff is growing. I can show you different things that I put in the soil at different times, like with the onions I mentioned. Off and on during the summer months, I'll put some, I think it's ammonium sulfate, down, very, very high in nitrogen. I think it's like 18% nitrogen, if I remember right. Don't quote me on that. But that helps the onions really well. The thing is, you don't want to put it right next to the onions. I'll show you how I do that. For a lot of you, you've already got your garden in. I know a lot of people are already harvesting gardens. I was watching a video where they were picking peas already. And I just planted them 3-4 days ago. Big difference between different parts of the country. I know a lot of people have said the Back to Eden garden type method won't work for them. I was talking to Chris from Homesteading the Hard Way, and he said, Jim, I really wish I could do that. He says it looks good, but it won't work down here. I don't know. I know I've heard a lot of other people. I know one of the big problems with some is the carpenter ants. I don't know what the answer is on that, other than, I guess, to traditional garden. Do what works for you. I'm just showing what works here in Maine for me. When I saw this garden method from Paul Gauci over in Washington State, it's like, you know what? I've got such sandy soil. I water my garden. I can have a sprinkler. I have soaker hoses. 2 days later, I have to water it again because everything's burning up. I have such a huge problem with weeds when I don't have the garden covered. And I don't have time to spend hours and hours on each row of vegetables picking out what we call pigweed up here. I don't know what you call it in your neck of the woods, but just frustrating. Since I've done this, I really, really enjoy it. So again, thank you so much for supporting this channel. We love you. God bless you.